Hello there. So the main story over the last week or so has been the heavy showers and thunderstorms that we've seen across many parts of the country. So you can see here, this is the radar estimated rainfall accumulation map from the 10th of August to the 18th. So where that sort of showery and thundery weather has been sort of prevalent across much of the country. So we started off with the period showers and thunderstorms most frequent across western parts, then becoming more confined to southern Britain before over the last couple of days or so we've seen them move slightly more northwards again, and those have been really heavy at times with some quite torrential downpours in places. Radar estimated totals of up to sort of 100 millimetres in places in single events, so in sort of 3-hour periods from one shower. And you can see here over the course of the week we've had many places that have caught more than a few showers, seeing sort of in those purple colours there over 70 millimetres of rain, over 100, even up to 200 millimetres of rain for some places in the last sort of 8-day period. So quite a lot of rain for many places, some localised flooding and disruption to travel, things like that. Quite a lot of disruption, but also to the harvest as well. So it's been particularly difficult if you've been trying to get out and get some harvest done. On top of this, the National Farmers Union released a story this week saying that this year's wheat harvest is potentially the worst for the last 30 years. And it's not just been down to this period of unsettled weather, but also for the conditions throughout the sort of earlier part of the year. So we had quite an unsettled winter with the wettest February on record, lots of named storms in that month. And then that was followed by a notably dry spring, which was also the sunniest spring on record. So very difficult conditions for growing wheat this year, and that has definitely showing for many people. So yeah, if you've been affected by that, do leave us a comment below and let us know how your harvest is going this year. Now, although the risk of showers and thunderstorms is generally out of the way for the moment, it does look like we're still heading into a period of rather unsettled weather. So if you're out in the field trying to get your harvest done, the best thing to do is go to WQRadar. This can show you near real-time rainfall radar in your area. And you can also see worldwide weather observations, so good at looking at sort of nearby wind speeds, things like that. And you can also get lightning alerts, which is another particularly useful thing as well. So head to wqradar.co.uk, and for the harvest we've got a special discount code for you to use. Just type harvest into the discount box and you can get the WQRadar for 50% off, so £25 for a year's subscription. So let's take a look at the forecast for the week ahead then. So this is the jet stream over the next few days, and you can see that it's quite sort of strong at the moment, and that's pushing an area of low pressure towards the UK over the next couple of days, and that's bringing some rather unsettled and breezy conditions for many places before pushing it away to the north through sort of Friday, Saturday towards the end of the weekend. Further ahead, still looking like we've got a fairly active jet stream, but generally sort of more zonal in its pattern, so more east to west, and continuing to sort of push areas of low pressure into the UK. So looking at the forecast for Wednesday, you can see we've got an area of low pressure down to the southwest, but otherwise most places should start dry and bright, particularly sort of northern and eastern parts, a dry and bright start before that area of low pressure moves sort of northeastwards, bringing outbreaks of rain to many places, particularly heavy at times as well. And then into Thursday, further rain affecting western parts, while southeastern parts generally staying a little bit drier. And you can see from the number of isobars here that it's looking like it'll be fairly breezy as well, so that is something to bear in mind. As we go into Friday, this area of low pressure still out to the northwest, bringing further showers and spells of rain, generally most likely in western parts, but occasionally spreading eastwards as we go through Friday and into Saturday too, looking like another showery, another breezy day still with those isobars there, and showers generally most frequent in western parts. So let's take a look at the spraying conditions. So these green colours here showing ideal spraying conditions where things are dry and also with light winds. So you can see starting off here, so that's Wednesday morning. We've got a lot of green colours over the map indicating those ideal spraying conditions, but as that area of low pressure pushes into the UK, generally not many green colours along the map at all, with those frequent outbreaks of rain and also quite windy conditions with those isobars there, not really providing many good spraying windows. However, as we head towards the end of Saturday and that low pressure clears northwards, we might see a few of those green colours returning to the map, so some more spraying windows as we head towards the weekend. So if you're looking to get some spraying, or if you're struggling with the harvest at the moment, the best thing to do is to speak to our forecasters. They're available every day from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. on 09065 777675. We'll be happy to answer all of your questions, with calls costing £1.55 a minute plus network access charges. So let's take a look a little bit further ahead. So you can see we've got a ridge of high pressure here that's just sort of clearing eastwards early next week, but that does look like it might bring us some drier and brighter conditions into Sunday, although there'll still be a few showers around. But for the early part of the working week, next working week, around Monday time, we've got this area of low pressure moving in from the west, and that's likely to bring further spells of rain to northwestern parts here, while southeastern parts generally stay a little bit drier. So maintaining the unsettled theme as we head into the following week. Another thing that's notable is the temperature change as we head into next week. So this Ensemble graph shows the air mass temperatures. That's at 850 millibars, which is about a mile above the ground, and gives us a good indicator about the type of air mass that we're currently in. So you can see at the beginning of the period, temperatures above this dotted line, which is the average. But as we head into the weekend and winds turn more to the northwest, we introduce some cooler air. You can see that dropping below the dotted line, so below average. And then as we continue over the next week or so, remaining close to, if not below average. So definitely a fresher feel to the weather, and potentially a little bit more autumnal as well. So let's take a look at our monthly forecast. So you can see this supporting the idea of a continuation of the unsettled theme as we go into week 2, although the area of the furthest below average pressure generally moving across to Scandinavia, and we're in those lighter blue colours there, with some closer to average pressure conditions to the south of us, so potentially settling things down briefly in the south at times, but generally we've got those green colours across the UK showing wetter than average conditions for week 2, and particularly across parts of Scandinavia as well, a lot of green colours there, while parts of southwestern Europe and southeastern Europe staying drier than average. Looking at those temperatures, we've absolutely got those below average temperatures across much of northwestern Europe, where things will be a couple of degrees cooler than the average for the time of year, while across parts of southern Europe near the Mediterranean, things will be above average for the time of year, and across Eastern Europe and Western Russia as well. Looking into week 3, a bit of a change on the cards, so it does look like we might start to see high pressure building to the southwest of the UK, so that could act to bring things a little more settled as we head into the first week of September. So yeah, you can see a lot of these brown colours here across Western Europe, indicating that things might turn drier than average. Still those green colours persisting across eastern parts of Europe, Western Russia, where low pressure continues to linger here. And across the UK, you can see things closer to normal across southern parts of Britain, although still remaining slightly wetter than average across the northern parts. And then as we look at the temperatures as well, looks like things will return a bit closer to normal for us. So in those white colours there, indicating close to average temperatures. And generally much of Europe in these closer to average conditions, although parts of Iberia and also parts of Eastern Europe, Western Russia, with those higher than average temperatures as well. A similar kind of story as we head into week 4. So generally southern parts of Europe, generally persisting with those higher than average pressure, so generally a little bit more settled, while the below average pressure kind of stays up to the far north. So this is actually introducing drier than average conditions across much of the continent for week 4, and particularly across the UK, many places drier than average here. And with the temperatures, much of Europe actually becoming just slightly above average, while here in the UK we stay closer to average with those temperatures. So what are we expecting over the coming month then? So it'll be unsettled and breezy at times over the next few days, with further rain and showers in some places, particularly in the northwest. Still maintaining that unsettled flavour as we head into the following week, but less so, with more brighter and drier periods within that, and temperatures feeling slightly below average. And then as we head into September, there is that potential for high pressure to build, bringing us more settled conditions. So thanks for watching this week's farming forecast. As always, it's great to be back in the studio and we'd love to hear from you. So please do get in touch on social media, or if you're watching on YouTube, please do leave us a thumbs up and comment below. Thanks for watching.